Hello beautiful, welcome to Coloring with MJ. I am super excited that you're joining me today for another color along. And today I have this cute little kitten from my new book, Cottagecore Coloring Book, available now on Amazon. So I'll show you the colors we'll be using. We have the Prismacolor Premier Cloud Blue, the 1023. We'll also be using Indigo Blue, one of my favorites, 901. We have Lilac, 956, Dark Purple, 931, Blush Pink, 928, Cream, 914, Yellow Ochre, 942, Yellow Orange, 1002, Light Umber, 941, Limepeel, 1005, and then our white, 938, and black, 935. So to get started with this little guy, we're gonna do a base of cream, and we're gonna start with our base of cream lightly all over his body. It's gonna be our very first layer. So remember, we start slow with our layers and we're gonna be building them up. So I'll just go all over applying this cream, and I'm using very light pressure for this first layer, and I like to get started when we're doing our pages. I like to get started with the lighter colors normally, just like to give it a base and then start adding more and more color to it. So how are you doing today? I hope you're having fun coloring. Did you already order your book? Which is your favorite page in the book? Make sure you share it with us in our Facebook group. I love seeing all of your color pages and just chatting and learning about coloring, what you like to color, your favorite tools, and all of that. It's just so nice having that support, being able to talk to other talented creatives and exchange ideas when you're stuck on something or you're unsure about if you should keep going. It's just a nice place to get some perspective on things and inspiration. So I'll just do this first layer. I'll speed it up for you, and then we will continue. That was our first layer of cream, and now we're going to move on to using our yellow ochre, the 942. And again, I'm going to start gently, very little pressure, and I'm going to use it on the darker areas on this little kitten's hair, the fur. So we'll just go lightly in all of those sections. And if you notice for this one, compared to the cream that I was applying, I'm doing strokes, just going line by line, as opposed to what I was doing with the cream, where I was just going back and forth and applying it everywhere. For this one, I I'm switching it a little bit just to start working with the fur. And I'm trying to go in the same direction that I see all of those little hairs coming and going. So I'm just doing the best I can to follow that. And I'll be doing that with the rest of his fur. So all over. We'll just do that. So that was our first layer of the yellow ochre. And now if you notice, for the inside of the ears over here, I didn't do a layer of the yellow ochre. That's because I want to add a bit of this blush pink in there. And so I want that to be our second layer instead. So we'll just do that really quick. Very lightly, very gently, and we're going to do it on both sides. And since we're already playing with our blush pink, I want to apply it as well on his nose. Just like that, and we'll go over to his nose right here, and very lightly. Just gonna apply it like that. Barely any pressure, just to give it the first go for the nose. And if we want to adjust anything over here, we can. Just like that. Alright, let's switch and start with our yellow orange. And the yellow orange, I want to add more color to this darker areas. So we're just gonna do what we did with the yellow ochre. And we're gonna be applying it on all of the hair we see here. And it's just adding one more layer of color. And since we're not like going back and forth and covering every single inch, you can see both colors as they come and go, and one stands out here, one stands out there. I kind of got the inspiration from these cute ginger cats. So that's kind of what I'm going for. You can make your cat or your kitten whichever way you like. If you have one at home and you want to use your cat as inspiration, absolutely go ahead. They're just so cute. I had a hard time deciding which page I was gonna color for today's color along, but after after going through all the pages in the book, this little guy said, me, pick me. And here we are. So I hope you're enjoying coloring this kitten. And just relaxing and having fun with him. I normally don't color that many animals actually, but yeah, I'm excited to give it a try, to have some fun with it. I think it's always important to keep exploring new themes. Going out of your comfort zone, it just has this ability to make you grow and become an even better colorist, an even better person. Just gives you that chance for growth and learning, which I love. So never, like, if you're stuck on something or unsure of what to do, just give it a chance. You might be surprised. In the end, you're gonna learn so much by trying and doing it. That's gonna be worth it. Even if it's uncomfortable at first, like if you're like, what should I do with this? You giving it a try, it's like already bringing you so many benefits. And sometimes like you get some really good surprises by doing that, by trying in different mediums. I've been trying to keep the color alongs using only color pencils, since it's like the most popular one. It's like the one we all have. So I want to make sure that you all can join. And not because you don't have the exact tools, like you can still color and you can still have fun. So we're just doing this layer with the yellow orange, and we're going on those darker areas. And since we're trying to make it look like his fur, just going with little strokes, and following the way they are going. Let's do over here too. Now this time around, I am going to start applying some color on the ears as well, where we only did the pink and the cream first, and on all the other sections that we're missing on the face. Let's do it. Now let's go ahead and do another layer of our cream, and again we're gonna go everywhere on the kitten's fur. We're just gonna go like this. Let's start. Now let's switch and use our light umber and we're just gonna mark the darker areas in our little kitten here, so to create more definition and more depth and So we're just defining these shadowy areas that we see here. Again, I'm going with the strokes one by one to help with that for effect. And this paws over here. Like all around him. Like that. The side will do too. Right over here that we see there's like a line of shadow, we'll do that, and some areas in your face, in his face. Let's do it. Alright, let's do another layer of our yellow ochre, and this time I'm just gonna go over all those sections we already colored, and instead of doing the strokes one by one, I'm mostly gonna go back and forth on those sections. I'm using very light pressure just to get more color in there without burnishing it. Like, we want to be able to keep adding a little more if we want to still, so just going lightly for right now. So yeah, I'm just looking at areas where I think there's a bit of a need for more color, and I'm just going in there and applying this yellow ochre. How's your kitten coming along? Are you having fun with him? Did you already name him? What are we going to call this little guy? All right, let's switch. We'll do now a bit of white, and we're just want to highlight some of these areas that are a little lighter. So we'll start by highlighting the areas that we want a bit lighter first, and then we'll go over all of it. For my white, I am applying a lot more pressure. Let's go on the nose right here. What a cutie. Okay, let's now give a break on the fur, and we're gonna start playing with the eyes. So for that, I want to use our Limepeel. We're gonna go with a really soft layer of the Limepeel all around. I'm gonna start like that. Just go everywhere like that. And then let's do a bit of the yellow ochre, and we're gonna apply it like on the darker areas, like those little lines that we see. Just go like that. All right. We're gonna take our light umber and we're gonna go all around, kind of on the outer edge. Up right there. Just so we can mark his eyes a lot more. Like that. Let's switch to the blush pink, and we're going to use it around his eye to start. We're going to mix it in with a bit of the light umber now. Just a light layer. We're going to do a bit of the light umber over here on the nose too. Alright, let's define this a little better. So we'll mark these lines right here. Like that. And then we're going to mark So one thing I wanted to talk about today is the great advantage of using the color wheel as our guide when we're coloring. If you're wondering what colors should I mix, what color should I use, the color wheel can be like really helpful. And like when you're not using a reference image and you're just wondering, the main subject in my page is, for example, our little kitten here, and you're going to be using yellow, orangey colors, then what colors would go well or complement this yellow, orangey colors? So the good thing about the color wheel is that you can see exactly which colors sit opposite from each other, which means they're going to complement each other really well in your page, and they're going to allow for contrast and just balance each other, creating that harmony that we want to achieve in our pages. So that's just like a quick tip, like utilize the color wheel. You can just like, if you type in color wheel on Google, you can find one. I'll make sure to include one this week so you can have it handy and just look at it and be able to see if I'm using yellow purples are gonna be sitting right across it and are gonna be a good complementary color. Like another way to use the color wheel is what colors are sitting next to each other. Those also go well together. So depending on what effect you want to create on your page, it's just a good reference and it's helpful when you're coloring. So that's why I picked this lilac to get started. We're using the Lilac 956 and we're just doing a light layer of it everywhere in this quilt that somebody was knitting for this cute little kitten. And the purple is what we see sitting across the yellow on the color wheel. So we'll be combining some of this purple and some of the, what was the other one? The dark purple and indigo blue and cloud blue. Because for the orange, we see across from it on the color wheel, we see the blue. So those are just colors that go well together and that create that contrast and complement each other. So let's just finish this first layer of the purple. With that first layer of the lilac, and we're gonna go in with our dark purple. What we're gonna use this one for is to create that movement with the lines that we see on this quilt. So we're just gonna go over all those lines and mark the darker areas that we're finding as we go. Just like that. We see how there's a bit of a shadow here, and we just go in a little more. So we did that first layer of the dark purple, and we're gonna go back in with our lilac, and we're just gonna apply another layer, leaving some areas without that layer, because that's where we're adding more of a highlight there. Just gonna go over some of these sections down here. Let's go over on the yarn ball, on the ball of yarn here, and right over here as well. So what I tried to do was to follow the lines as much as I could, just to keep the flow of the yarn everywhere. So, and I marked the lines on the little quilt that he's wrapped in. And we're just leaving some sections with less color because we're gonna go in with our white to create more contrast between the light and the dark. It's closer to him where there's like a bit of a shadow. We're gonna go over it more. Right over here, down here. All right, and we're gonna switch. We're gonna take our cloud blue for some of these sections, and we're gonna go lightly, and we're gonna apply a layer, and I am applying a bit more pressure for this one because I wanted to help us do some of the blending of these colors. So I'm just applying a bit more pressure and trying to get our layers to mix and work together, just like that. And I'm gonna go and do this everywhere except for these spots where I'm gonna leave it a little lighter, and we're gonna be using white to do the blending there. Let's do it. If you notice, there were some areas where I was going with more pressure, these darker areas that you already see, and then some that I was doing lightly, and I was going kind of like everywhere without really having to flow with the lines. So there are some sections where I want to add a little bit more of our dark purple. So for example, here, just want to be able to come in and add a little bit more darkness right here at the bottom too. Right there. So wherever you see it needs to be a little darker, go for it. And then I notice we have a little piece over here at the back. So I want to make sure that gets included. Like that. Adding a little bit more right here. So just for those darker sections that you see that need a little bit more dark, more color, go ahead, add a little bit more. Because we're going to be using our white to combine and finish mixing, blending those layers. Just like that. We want to define some other areas. Make this part darker for our ball of yarn. That. Some of those lines. And then we're gonna switch and we're gonna start using our white. So just remember, whenever we're using our color pencils, like, it's important, always keep them sharp. And this will help you get every little area in your coloring page, so then you can get all the space covered and there's no white sections, so it looks all nice and even. So now we're just going with our white to blend some of these areas. We're trying to keep the lines that we already have going on. So we're following the movement that we're seeing from the little quilt. And we're gonna do that everywhere else. So the areas that we didn't apply that much pressure with our cloud blue, we're going in and we're using our white with quite a bit of pressure to get those areas blended. So let's do it all around. So we used our white to help us blend all of our colors, and now we're just checking where else we need to mark some lines. For example, here I want this one to be more defined, so we can go in and fix those areas that we see need a little bit of more definition, more color on there. And then if you find any other areas, go ahead, add it. Let's see where else. Let's define this a little more. Just like that. A little darker right there. Let's do a little darker down here. Just like that. Okay. Okay, I think we're good there for right now. Now let's switch and we're gonna do a little layer with our Indigo Blue to do this like shadow that we have around or under our kitten and the quilt and the yarn that we see here. So we're just gonna go and do that. Very light pressure. I'm really going super light right now. And just like that. Going over all those areas. Like that. Down here. All right. Let's see what else we want to do. For the background, I'm just going to use the... Oh, I was forgetting. Let's do the whiskers. You normally see them, they're kind of like whitish, transparent. But since we're working with our color pencils and they are black, we're gonna define them with our light umber. That's what we're gonna use for the whiskers for this little guy. And I'm just gonna try to go as close as possible to the line. Like that. Let's do the other side. This one's here. Okay, what else do we want to finish up on our kitten? We'll add a little bit more shadow right here and right here. Honestly, you can probably keep going and going. So there's a point where you're like, this is good enough. So the important thing is that you had so much fun, that you enjoyed yourself, you got some chance to relax. I know I did, like especially working on the little details and going super slow for the quilt, trying to build the color slowly. Whenever I do that, it just helps me get out of my head, I guess. Sometimes there's so much going on in our daily lives that it's nice to take a break, to pause, to just be present in the moment, and I found that has had so many benefits for myself. So I hope it's helping you as well. Let me know in the comments, like, why do you color? What was the reason you got started with coloring? How has it helped you? What do you like about it? How has it impacted your life? And yeah, like, what are the benefits that you get from coloring? I know we've all kind of like started this journey for different reasons. Like, we all have our own stories, and I think that's the great thing about coloring, how it can bring us all together. Something so basic, something you probably did when you were a little kid growing up. And for me, like, being able to color just allows me to get out of my head, like I said before, and feel like a little girl again. Like, everything is simple. It's just about color and having fun and relaxing. And it's just really nice. I am so grateful that you joined me today for this color along. I hope you had fun with our little kitten. Make sure you like the video if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't. I do a color along every Wednesday, and in our Facebook group we have tips on Tuesday. Usually share those in our social media as well. We have our feature Fridays, if you don't know of those yet. I love seeing your color pages, so if you're coloring some of my pages, make sure you're sharing them in our Facebook group, because every Friday I pick colorists to showcase and share their beautiful work, and just let you know that I'm seeing everything you're doing, and I'm loving all the heart you put into your pages. So it's my way of saying I see you, and I love it. Keep at it. Thank you for inspiring us, because every single one of you with your own creations, it's an inspiration for me. Like, you're the reason that I do what I do, and that I get to have so much fun creating new pages to color and enjoy. If you have any special requests, let me know. You can always just email me. I love hearing about what you like to color, and I'm actually working on 2 notebooks. One of them is a special request that I'm really excited for. So hopefully over the next few weeks, I'll be sharing those with you. For now, I hope you're enjoying my fairy books, my homes books. This new one, the Cottagecore Coloring Book, it has really a bit of everything, just that whole cottagecore style with the simplicity and kind of like take its lower vibe. So I really enjoyed creating that one, and I hope you have so much fun coloring it, just like we had fun coloring this cute little kitten. For the background, yeah, I just did like a really light layer of the cloud blue, which you can probably barely see, but there it is. And let's just go ahead and take this is our Indigo Blue. We'll use black for signing today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Subscribe. Bye-bye.